Many of us know of slavery from the Israelites in Egypt from the Bible, and even the American slave trade that happened here in the U.S. many years ago. But today, there are 27 million slaves, which is known as human trafficking. There are more slaves today than there have been ever in history. This past January, I went to what's called Passion. Passion is a youth gathering of college students who come together, worship the Lord, and take action in human trafficking. That is what started my longing, passion, and desire to be a voice for those who don't have a voice in human trafficking. Human trafficking is a large issue that must be dealt with because it minimizes and devalues human life. We must take action to totally eradicate this immoral business. In order for us to totally eradicate this business, we must take a few steps. Like first, be aware of how the government and society neglects it, and be aware of the causes so that we can stay away from human trafficking. And also, we must learn what actions we can take in order to eradicate this. The first point I want to share with you is how the government neglects human trafficking. According to the International Rescue Committee, human trafficking generates $30 billion yearly, and it is the fastest growing illegal crime today. The government fails to recognize many of these situations in human trafficking, and that it generates it's the highest crime that generates the most money. According to the director of the United Nations Office on Drug and Crimes, he says that many governments are still in denial. There is even neglect when it comes to either reporting on or prosecuting cases of human trafficking. This is why we never hear about it on the news, or we have hardly any cases about it. Also, the United Nations Office of Drug and Crimes did a report based on the 155 countries that deal with human trafficking. The conviction rate for the human trafficking is 1.5 person per 100,000 people. The second point that I want to share with you is the causes that lead up to human trafficking. Before the actions arrive in human trafficking, when someone steals a girl to go for sex or takes someone to do labor work, the thoughts are there. The thoughts of greed and lust and the want for power and dominance over another person's is what starts this action. According to the Merriam and Webster dictionary, greed is defined as selfish and excessive desire for more of something. I looked up some verses in the Bible as well that had to do with greed, and one of them was 2 Peter 2:14, and it says, "They have eyes full of adultery, insatiable for sin, for they entice unsteady souls, and they have hearts trained for greed." Also, according to the Webster and Merriam dictionary, lust is defined as pleasure and delight. For example, a man may be so enticed by pornography, and eventually he's so wrapped up in pornography that he wants something more, that can't fulfill his desires and pleasures anymore. So he may go out and buy a prostitute for the night. But little does he know that that prostitute could be a product of human trafficking. We also want some control over our lives. All of us want to control some areas of our lives. That's just part of our human depravity, and when we want that control, so we can be more powerful than people, so we can feel that we are superior to others. But according to Philippians 2:3, do nothing out of selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. There is a general awareness for human trafficking, but not many people want to take action. Here are a few ways that will show on the screen that we should take action. One is to partner with the organization Freedom 24. Freedom 24 holds races and events that you can go and pay to be in, but all the money and proceeds go to sex trafficking. You go and run a 5K, but while you're running the 5K, you get the name of a girl written on your arm to pray for while you are running. Another way that we should be getting involved and taking action is with the International Justice Missions. The IJM, as it's shown on the screen, provides relief for victims who have been in trafficking, and it holds the perpetrators to their convictions and tries and seeks justice and prevails justice just as much as they can. They take a stand for the human rights and speak for those who don't have a voice. We have now been all informed about human trafficking and what we can do to avoid it and what we can do to take action. But now it's your choice. We should not be sitting back and letting this happen. This is a great opportunity for us to all rise and take actions as our Christian duty, as God has told us to live the Christ that He has called us to live.